So we've been having a lot of discussion about the tropics here, and although obviously we don't get directly affected usually by the tropics, it's impacting so many lives and so many lives that you know in Florida and Texas and even extended into the Caribbean. So I've been getting a lot of questions. Why so many storms? Why so many strong storms? I want to show you how this setup has been for this season, why it's been different from other seasons, especially the ones in the past that have not been that big a deal, and why we're expecting even more activity to go along. So the 2017 season, even early on, it was expected to be a rough season. In other words, a busier than normal season. And then the update came, that was in May, then the update came in August and said it's even more likely to be a busy season than we thought earlier in May. And it's probably going to be the busiest season since 2010. So in the last 7 years, this was likely to be the busiest season that we've had to deal with. I want to show you now what's going on, what normally we would get in a hurricane season, and then also how this is going to work out in terms of the rest of the year. The average, the long-term average is for 12 named storms, 6 that would become hurricanes, and 3 that would be major, in other words, category 3 or higher. Those are the stronger, more devastating storms. Now, the forecast that was updated in August, which is the last forecast we've gotten, 14 to 19 named storms, 5 to 9 that would be hurricanes, and 2 to 5 that would have major. Now, we're already at that 12 to 13 named storm level here, with Lee being the last one, and we probably will get more. Everybody says, why is it all happening at once? Well, it's not. What usually happens is there's a buildup to this time of year. September and October are typically the busier seasons. Now, the reasons why, all right, the reasons why that we are busier and stronger than normal are a couple of things you can see here. Favorable hurricane conditions have been in place now during the hurricane season, especially the last month in the southern Atlantic. And those are the breeding ground areas for hurricanes. We have warmer than normal ocean temperatures. We also have lighter than normal upper atmospheric winds, and other winds that would normally try to tear these storms apart and not allow them to be so strong are weaker this year. So those two things together have allowed the storms to not only be more frequent but get stronger. We talk about the categories here. Category 1, 74 to 95 mile per hour winds. You get into Category 2, 96 to 110. You get into Category 3, which we consider a major hurricane. That's the concern that we've had a number of those, and even stronger. That goes winds to almost 130. Once you hit 130, it's Category 4, and now you're talking about catastrophic damage. Maria has been between a 4 and a 5 over most of its extent through the Caribbean right now, and expected to be somewhere in that 4 or 5 range too, as it has a very good chance to hit the Virgin Islands again, and then also into the area of the Puerto Rico, and then perhaps into the Bahamas. So big concerns, absolutely. There's Maria 5 right now. So let me just regroup real quick here. I'll show you that tell you that the storm system was expected to be, the season was expected to be busier than normal. It has. And all the updates that we've seen are expecting it to get more and more busy, and especially from September to mid-October, and then it should tail off a little bit. And so the timing is not unusual, but the number of storms is high. The number of strong storms, in other words, major categories, is higher than normal because of the strong, the less wind shear that we have. In other words, the lack of the wind to tear these storms apart, and the warmer temperatures as well. As we go through the next couple of days, we'll watch Maria go by the Bahamas. It still could affect the United States. There's no certainty to that just yet, but we're going to be very vigilant, and you should as well, especially obviously if you have friends and family in those areas.